Hey everybody, how's it going today? It's Carpo. I'm stepping outside for a nice moment in the sun and make a video. I've been pretty busy lately. I haven't really been making many videos. I guess I have because I've been uploading them as I travel and do stuff, but the summer has been very active for me. It's been very inspiring. I've had some pretty awesome moments. So I just thought I'd stop for a minute and kind of say hey to everybody and talk about passion, talk about having something to look forward to, having something to excite us. And I've mentioned it before that it's such an important thing to have what I call like mini vacations to look forward to. We have our yearly vacations, then we might have something that we do at certain times of the year that are maybe like our little mini vacations too. But beyond that, there's like weekly things like our weekend event. Maybe you look forward to having a beer on Friday night, or maybe going to play a card game, or going to meet up with some friends. And then daily we have the same thing, our ritual cup of coffee, our evening beer or bowl, or maybe a movie we watch, a certain meal that we eat, all of our little rituals that make us happy, And sometimes those rituals can become a little mundane, but they make us who we are. They make a part of our personalities. For me lately, I guess, I've been able to reclaim my artistic past. Some of the things that I used to do when I was younger was making hemp jewelry. For example, I guess I'm wearing some right now. I made a lot of Fimo clay as well, so yesterday I went out and I bought some clay. And actually I made this little pattern. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. There are these little moons with stars in there. And I made like a group of 7 or 8 of them, and then put 7 of them on here because 7 is a very special number to me, my first lucky number. And then on there I also put this little canister, little metal canister, put stuff in, go figure. And I also, of course, beaded this, but that's just a bunch of beads on a string. But anyway, I like to make jewelry, I like to make necklaces, and I've also been doing a lot of painting, and a lot of drawing, a lot of sketching, a lot of work with the sacred geometry again. I've been very inspired to just build things out of nothing. And sometimes I'll look back on something I spent hours on and say, why did I waste so much time on that? Or rather spend so much time on something like that. And it's because in the moment I was in the passion. I had a drive to create. And the point I'm trying to make here is that if you look back on something that you've done and you think, I've spent too much time on it, think about it in the perspective of, what am I creating? Is it something that's going to live long term? For example, people spend years working on a particular job position, or to maybe write some book that nobody will even read. So, but they do it because they have the passion to do it. And with art, it's no different. If you do art or create things as a money source, I feel sorry for you, because I know how it is to be an artist and try to make money off of it. There are businessmen, and then there are other people, I guess. I'm not a good barter or bargain person. I always end up giving the other person a better deal because I like to feel like the other person's getting a better deal, more than fair. And there are times, of course, when, it goes the other way, but generally I like to create things and give them away, or sell them for very cheap, or trade them away. But I never got into art to make money, just like when I play guitar and play music. I don't play it in hopes of making money. I played in a band with my brother, in 2 different bands. A punk band called First in Line. Then we played in a band called Related Material. years later, which was more of a jam band. And then we changed the name to Time to Spare, and I've uploaded a few of the albums and stuff. But anyway, we did a couple albums, and we had a great time. My brother wanted to make a living off of music, and he wanted to tour. He wanted to live that life because, that was his passion. For me, it was one of my many passions. I said, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I have a family and other passions and things I do, so to me, it's not as strong of a drive to succeed in this, because I know what happens when you try to make money off being a musician. You either succeed immensely and you're able to create what you want, or you succeed partially and you're forced to, break down and play at certain times and create a certain structure and system. Your art is messed with and your lyrics are twisted around, and not always, but I'm just, and this is what happens in the art world. People are forced to create art that people want to see. When I make necklaces, I don't make them with a thought in my mind of what does this person want to see, or what is another person going to want to see, what kind of colors do they like. It's always what do I like, which is why I'll use random things like yellow and green, olive green and yellow, mixing yellows and reds and blues and just making very obscure patterns. And when I created a pattern, I have a couple other necklaces I made. As I was building them, I just went from my heart, what looks good, what feels good. And then I end up with like 5 or 6 different sections of patterns that taper down and don't really relate to each other. But they do numerically, because when I do beadwork, I always have a special patterns like 3s, 7s, and 9s, and 1s, singles. But anyway, passions. I know people who have many passions like me, who we call ourselves, I guess some people say multi-potentialites, or even multitaskers, or jack of all trades, but people who enjoy doing many different things. And then there are those who are very specific to one art type, say a particular type of painter, or somebody who strictly makes jewelry, and people who aren't into other things. It takes all types, is what I'm saying, all these different artistic types. But when you see someone that's impassioned into what they're doing, I guess I feel a sort of sorrow for people who don't have passions, because I know how hard it is when you lose it for a while and you've had passions. It's almost worse than never having passions. As my buddy said the other day, because I want the magic back, and I've really been thinking about that. The nostalgia of life. We tend to fade away from the old ways, or the good old days, and forget that these are the new good old days. And so anyway, I guess my message that I'd like to convey is for people to realize that, not only is your perception your best friend, the way you see the world is the only thing that's going to change the way that the world appears to you. If you want to see negativity, you will see it. But if you want passion, you have to also have the viewpoint that you're going to be satisfied by doing it. We look and look and look for this happiness, but it comes from the experience of being. And when people talk about living in the now and existing in the now, I think that it's really important to remember that being in the now means enjoying what you're doing now. And when you get into those timeless moments of creation, you become like a miniature creator of your own, just another branch of the fractal pattern of creation, and amazing world to live in. What's up, Katie? Girl? So I wish you all well. I wish you all well in your journeys, wherever they may be, and I'm getting ready to go camping again for the next couple nights, so it should be pretty cool. There's going to be a meteor shower. It's supposed to be a new moon and a really good time to see this particular meteor shower, so I'm excited for it. The Perseid. Anyway, take care, everybody, and I'll see you in a few days.